Welcome to the ninth line. As I said before, we transcending the solar system, we leaving the Earth, we crossing Mars and Jupiter, along with Saturn all the way to Pluto. Welcome. This is Planet 9 C# Learning.
Let's go. Hey.
Alright, so we're going to create a new application today. This application is gonna calculate the employees' normal wage, calculate the employees' overtime wage, and calculate the employees' gross wage along with the tax and deductions. In the studio, just gonna click here, create new projects. After that, just gonna click ASP.NET Web Application.NET Framework. Gonna click next. Right after clicking that, you're just gonna name your project. I'm gonna name mine employee. I'm gonna name it employee overwage. Then you have to click create. Oh, I already created something like this, so it's gonna be like one something, I don't know. Then I'm gonna click create here, and then I'm gonna click create MVC. Back in the studio. Okay, we're about to create our model. As you know, we right click here on the folder called models, go to add, and then you create your class. After that, you're gonna pick a normal class, a normal C# class, just a normal class. Nothing too shabby, not too out of the blue. Then you're gonna name your class. I'm gonna name my class EMP. Wait, EMP Pay. Yeah, I'm gonna name it EMP Pay. It's gonna scaffold, and then it's gonna create that class. All right. So now we have our class. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create the first property. Now then, go with me. Do not get left behind. Oh wait, my computer going down a bit. Well, it's not saturated, but it usually happens when you haven't used Visual Studio for quite a while. Like that. So properties. So I'm gonna teach you all a very neat trick here. Very neat trick to use whenever you're trying to declare properties. So basically, what you're gonna do, you're just gonna say prop, and then there's the tab button. Your computer is usually on the left-hand side of your computer, next to the Q if you're using an Acer. Just gonna tap it away. Just say prop, then you tap it 2 times, and then now you're gonna get your data type here declared for you, and you're gonna get your my property, which is your name, your property name, and then the get set method gets like set for you automatically. Then you're just gonna say string. I'm making this one a string because I'm gonna prompt my user to enter a name, EMP name. Here's another nice function I'm gonna teach you all. If you press Control D, you can basically copy every single thing on this line and put it below here. The trick that tells you this ain't your usual coding video. Maybe gender here. You can choose to do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Here it's EMP type. Note, I'm only using this thing again and again because these all 3 of these things are using the same data type, which is string. So yeah. Right now, I'm just gonna say prop again. Then that's an int. When I input the hours worked, it's gonna be hours worked. Lovely. Might do it again. And I want this one to be a double. This is how like high efficient coders code. This is gonna be a double. It's gonna be norm pay. Basically, it is basically for normal pay. It's gonna be prop. See, it's just like, really easy to do. I don't know why people complicate it. really is easy. The double is gonna be overpay. Okay. It's gonna be across A. You know here tax amount. And then after the tax amount, it's gonna be your net pay. After the net pay, it's gonna be rate pay. All right, so we have done this. We have created our properties. Let me just zoom out a bit so you can see. These are all our properties that we have created. It's quite a lot of them, not that much though. So right now we're gonna create our methods. Public double bulk is actually bad coding on this. Here we're simply gonna return the hours worked multiplied by the rates pay. Voila, we have this. We have our first method. Second method is gonna be public double. All right, it's gonna be calc over pay. We have created a second method over pay. It's gonna be, let's just say return. Gonna be, oh wait, it's gonna be hours. Hours worked minus 40. Put a bracket. Hours worked minus 40. Another bracket here just to segregate this thing. Going to be multiplied by rates pay. Then rates pay is going to be multiplied by 1. All right, we have our overtime pay, we have our normal pay. And right now, what we're going to do next, we're going to calculate our gross pay. It's going to be public double bulk gross pay. All right, scroll down a bit. So then here's the fun part. Since we have our normal pay and our overtime pay, we're simply gonna add those two together and we're gonna get our gross pay. It's gonna be calc over pay. It's gonna be something like this. And yeah, we have our method for the gross pay. What other method do we need? We need a method for our tax, so we're gonna say public double. It's gonna be calc tax amount tax amount is gonna be right after that. It's gonna be okay. Here I'm gonna instantiate two things. Since in the statement they said that if an employee works full-time, they are charged 15% of their gross pay. And if an employee is part-time, they are charged 10% of their gross pay. I'm gonna introduce two local variables. I'm declaring two local variables here, which are double. This is F time, which is for full-time. And it's gonna be equal to 0, and then it's gonna be another one for part-time. Also gonna be equal to 0. All right, don't worry about these green things. They're just telling you that we have declared something and haven't used it. we're going to use it now. So we're going to have an if statement. Say if emp type, you declare this property above, click the equal to, or it's just equal to full time. We're gonna have something like this. We're gonna have f time equals to calc gross pay, which is this, our gross salary. It's gonna be multiplied by 0.15. Yeah, we have our value for this one. Yeah, it's unnecessary assignment, but who gives a shit? I like assignment. Okay, since we had two things, either full-time or part-time, if just having two if else is just gonna be. So this one I'm just gonna put p time. Here I'm basically showing you how to use variables and shit. Things like that. Bill gross pay can be multiplied by 0.10. Then now you're gonna say return f time plus p time. All right, so if you look at the statement, it says that if employee type is full-time, then f time is going to be the gross pay multiplied by 15%, and then that value is going to be stored here. And also here, if the employee is part-time, then the value of gross pay times 10% is going to be stored here. And here when it says return, so this is like the fun part where it comes in. You see p time and, oh wait, f time and p time, yes. P time and f time, one of them is gonna be 0 whenever you are gonna run this code, because when you remember above, we declared both of them as 0. So if this block of code is executed, then it's gonna save this value here, and this is still gonna be 0. Since if this code is executed, this one is not gonna be executed, meaning that here we're gonna have something that's gonna be like value of f time. Let's say maybe it's gonna be 90 plus 0. See, one of them is going to be 0 either way, regardless of which statement is executed. One of them is going to be 0. Okay, it's going to get rid of this. All right, so what is next after that? We have to calculate our deduction, public cost deduction, because we're not done with our methods yet. We have created 3, oh, not 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth method we have. So we have created our 4 methods. The first one is to calculate our normal pay. Second one is to calculate our overtime pay. And the third one is to calculate our gross pay, which is our normal pay plus our overtime pay. And then the third method is to calculate our tax amount, which will be taxed based on our gross pay. So the fifth method to create is going to be public double. Okay, let me zoom in. Zoom in a bit. Okay, I think this is good. It's going to be calc deduct. So this method is going to calculate how much you're going to deduct from like the employee's salary. So the F stands for female and the M is going to stand for male. We're going to equate both to 0. That's nice. There's going to be another if statement. This one is a very interesting one. It's going to use the property gender. If gender is strictly equals to female, if gender is equals to female, whatever you see here on your screen, write it like that. If gender is equals to female, then F is going to be equals to gross pay so it was to calc gross pay multiplied by 0.05 and we have a value there. Then else, if the gender is equals to male, you're gonna have something like this. M equals to it's gonna be calc gross pay multiplied by, oh, not really. So if it's a male, it is 0.0. So a male is not charged any money, okay? That's the nice part of being a male, yeah. So we're not gonna hit return. We're gonna hit it like this. Maybe M plus F. Same analogy as before in this statement. We are still using it here. One of them is gonna be 0. But here's the fun part. Both of them actually can be 0 if it's a male. If it's a male, then it's gonna be 0. It's gonna be 0. Then nothing really changes, right? So yeah, simple enough method. Let's move on to the next one. Next one we're gonna create is public double. This one is gonna be for the calc net pay. So this is the net wage we're gonna pay our employee. Simply just gonna say return. We're gonna say return, and then we're gonna take the gross pay. We're gonna subtract the tax. We're gonna calculate it. We're gonna use the tax. Forgot to put a bracket here. We're gonna separate the tax from the gross, separate the deductions as well. Oh, just gonna copy this, paste it, and yeah, we have a method here. It's gonna be a method like this. So yeah, this method is gonna give us our net pay. Don't be fooled, okay? This is just a method to give us the net pay. So to summarize everything we've done, we first created our properties, which were these properties here. All of these properties here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever they are. Employee name, gender, employee type, hours worked, normal pay, overtime pay, gross pay, tax amount, net pay, and direct pay. So we made our first method, which calculates our normal pay, and we made a second method, which calculates our overtime pay. And then we made our third method, which is going to calculate the gross pay. And then we made a method to calculate the tax amount to be paid, depending on whether the employee is full-time or is part-time. And then we also made another method that's going to calculate the total deductions. And then we also made a method that's going to calculate the net pay. So from this, we're going to move on and create our controller. To create our controller, we're simply going to right click on the controller file, click controller. It's going to load up for quite a bit. And then we're going to click MVC5 controller that is empty. And then you're going to click OK. It's going to gather all this information up because it's really all it knows how to do. We're going to name our controller EMP. I'm going to use small letters here. We're going to name it EMP. It's going to scaffold. And then after scaffolding, it's going to take us to our controller front page. Alright, so we have created our methods or our class, which consists of our properties and our methods. And we have created our controller, which is named EMP controller. Here we have it here. So first thing I'm going to do here, we're going to change this thing to a more suitable name. It's going to be show. Oh wait. It's going to be show EMP. Right after that, we're going to copy all of this with Control C. We're going to paste it. And just for those of you who don't know how to do copy and paste, it's just It's control plus C. Then it's control plus V. This is equals to paste. This is equals to copy. Yeah, don't be dumb. If you don't know this thing, I don't know what you call. So it's gonna be HTTP post. Roast your asses. Okay, right now, what I told you before, these brackets are called parameters, and what we input our parameters, and what we input inside our parameters is the class name, along with the object we want to call our class. I'm gonna call it EP, and then you're gonna get this error right after doing it. You get this error so you can put a namespace above. It's using employee over wage models. You use this. See, just gonna click on this, go to preview changes. Gonna load up. You're gonna say apply here. Voila, your error is fixed, and you have this at the top of your namespaces. It's a good way of using it. EP, you should input EP here at first so you don't forget at the end. All right, so right now, just gonna say EP dot. Gonna use our EMP name dot. Okay, so equals to EP dot EMP name again. Then it's gonna be EP dot employee type or employee gender. I'm gonna go for gender first. Gonna be EP dot gender again. Gonna be EP dot employee type equals to EP dot employee type. Again, it's gonna be EP dot hours worked. It's the hours, you just hit that, and then yeah, EP dot hours worked again. It's gonna be EP again dot non-pay. Gonna be EP again dot. Now this is where it gets interesting. I'm gonna use a method here. Calc non-pay. Using my method right now. It's gonna be what else? EP dot. It's gonna be overpay. Goes to calc. EP dot calc overpay. Gonna be EP dot. It's gonna be for the cross pay. Goes to EP dot calc cross pay. Then it's gonna be EP dot X amount equals to EP dot calc text amount. Then it's gonna be EP dot net pay. You can include a net pay. You can start with the deductions. Let's check here what comes first. Do you have a method for deductions? We do not have a property for deductions, but we have a method though for deductions. So for deductions, we have to add something here. It's gonna say public double deduct get set, then go back to your EMP controller. Gonna add deduct equals to EP dot calc deduction. Yes, use this one. That's gonna be EP. Get you a closer look. That's gonna be net pay. equals to EP dot calc let's pay. Yeah, and this is our controller. Officially, we are done with our controller. Here's one last glance at it. You can take a screenshot if you want. Yeah, your controller is going to look like something like this. This is the object. This object calls properties from this class, and it can also call methods from this class, which is empay. You see? All right. And you can see on anyone, wherever you reference it, it tells you where everything has been referenced. You see it's referenced here, and it's also referenced here on your EMP controller wage, EMP controller, right? So C# actually tells you all these things. Go back to our controller. All right, so after this, you have done your controller. Make sure you put in your HTTP post, and make sure you put your objects in here. After that, everything should be good. We're gonna go create our view. All right, so right after creating your controller, the thing you should go do afterwards is create your view. You're gonna click views. So there's a view folder. Yeah, on that folder, there's a folder called EMP. We're gonna create a view inside that folder. Right click, use your procedure, add. Right now we're adding a view. Click on it and then click that. Let's just say add. Whatever. So it didn't number show EMP. Gonna scaffold. After scaffolding, it's gonna give you the results, and then you're gonna start coding from that page. So after that's successfully been created, you're just gonna first say add model. Let me zoom in. Underneath again Vimba. Gonna be add model. Employee wage, use your project name. And then okay, it's gonna be dot models. After that, it's gonna be your EMP pay, your class name. After that, just gonna say at thing HTML begin form. After that, say njengamanje sesizofaka your action results. Action results is showing EMP. We're gonna go to your controller, check it out real quick. That's this, show EMP. You can do the logical thing, just copy this thing, go back to your view. Got some bits in here, Control V, paste the living shit out of it. Wait a minute. It actually just copied everything. Just gonna copy it in. Which is actually way more logical than before. Yeah, but yeah, you put your action result there, and then you're gonna put the name of your controller here, and then just gonna say form method post. After that, just gonna set up this calibrations, everything, gotta put it inside div. First, you're gonna input the employee's name. Employee's name, and then maybe that's HTML dot editor for. Bam. Okay, the editor for, and they're gonna be like n sign and again dot cmp name. You're done with the first one. Second one up. Okay, emp name. Gonna press Control D. Gonna send you to the next page. Not to the next page, just gonna copy everything you did above and put it below. Actually good if you want to like do shit like in a more sequential and linear manner. So since employee type is like, you can only have 2 employee types, so it's gonna be radio button for. Yeah, radio button for. Got a comma in, gonna put this thing in, gonna say like what's that? Yeah. Now then, OD. Change this to like part-time. That's a part-time employee. Changes, don't really have to, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna change this to like employee, not to employee. I'm just gonna say full-time. Change this to part-time. All right. After that, we have made our employee type, and now we're just gonna input the hours worked. The hours worked. Oh my word, this is so embarrassing. I'm gonna post it anyway, just so you can all can see that we all make mistakes. Even the people who make these videos on YouTube will make mistakes. Okay, nothing much, nothing to be sad about, nothing to be flabbergasted about. Yeah, big words. Okay, dots. It's gonna be hours right now. We always put in something we have in our model. Model works. This is why this thing is called MVC, Model View Controller. Rates pay. Okay. Rates of pay. Gonna be like this. Gonna select it's HTML that's editor 4, and then it's gonna be u cosine u dots diff. Normal pay is put R there, and add HTML dot display for. Okay, just gonna use R again, R dots non pay. Yeah, I mean, like, it just keeps going on like this, like this, like this. So after that, it's just gonna use the div. It's gonna be overtime pay. Overtime pay is at HTML dot for. Oh yeah, I can use it. So again, overtime or overpay. Right after that, we're gonna say div again. Still not finished. We're still going. We're still going at full speed, full power. What else do we need here? What else do we need? We have the employee type. Oh yeah, the gender. I've not included the gender. Okay, I'll include it later. For now, I'm just gonna complete everything. Cross pay is at HTML display for. That's gonna be like E. That's gonna be dot. What is this thing? What is this thing? Cross pay. Lovely. We move on. We continue to move. Div. Okay, it's gonna be what? Text them out now. Text them out. We moving. Transcending the solar system. Amount is R. That's HTML. Display for. T equals to T again, and then dots as a text amount, Get it right there, yeah. All right, let's move on. Gonna have dev. We must put now our deductions. Fee, yeah. Spend is so visa dog, she be leg a dog. Must be some nigga into a shake out or something. That's one good. It's levels good up here. Now we're gonna do the next pay. Next pay is our that's gonna be HTML. Display 4. Yeah. This nigga here D and then let's pay. Alright, so we should also include like the gender. I'm gonna include it right after the hours worked. Say dev. That's gonna be like male. Then I'm just gonna say at HTML dot radio button. Then say O U V again. What's gender? Male. Nice. B. Change this to email. Just so it's a bit different. Change this also to just email. And then you kind of have everything you kind of need, okay? Let's run our code and see what happens. Yeah. Alright, so before you even hit the run button, you should examine your code to see if you did everything correctly. Oh, okay. I made a mistake here. You see here, I put two tags on. Here, I should have put deduct. Yes, so that is a very vital error. If you make this error, your code might not, it will run, but it will give you results you are not expecting. So yeah, with that in mind, let's look at it. Let's see what we're gonna get. So localhost opening. Give it some time. Give it some time. I'm not gonna skip over this one. If you want, I can just like fast forward to like the next 10 seconds of the video, but all the same. So I'm full time. I was worked at like 48. I am male. My rates of pay is like 350 per hour. And yeah, the results you get. I earn about 16,800. Overtime pay is 4.2. Gross pay is 21,000. Tax amount 3,000. Deduction fee is 0 since I am male. Tick male here. Net pay is this. So if I had to tick female here, you're gonna get a different answer here. See? Excuse me. Deduction fee is now 1,000. Also, if you were to change this also, get a different answer. Right now, your tax amount is like 2,100. Your net pay is 17,850. So if you're part-time, you get paid less. No, actually, no. If you're part-time, you get paid more. If you're full-time, you get paid less. Oh, it's such a bland predicament. If you're male though, if you're male and full-time, then it seems like you get paid get a bit less than if you're male and you're part-time. If you're part-time and you're male, you get paid more. Yo, this. All right, so one last thing we need to do now, we must make our application more feasible, okay, or more presentable. I'm just gonna add a few line breakers here. This is a line breaker. I'm just gonna add these things like around my code, so that like the code is actually more spaced out and you can like see where everything is. BR. That no. Oh, should I open this shit by mistake? Nah, close this. All right, BR again, and just like, yeah. Basically, just gonna do this for like most of your code, just so that everything is like segregated. All right, so let's just check it out, see what it's like. Does look neater though, yeah. Yeah, like it's more spacious, it's more readable than it was before. So we're just gonna see like how it looks like on our webpage and shit. All right, so we have built our application and now let's test it if it works. So we have built it and we installed the line breakers, which is the BR we did in the previous section. And right now, let's check if it works. So I inputted my name. I'm a full-time employee. Maybe I worked about 89 hours, just make it drastic for no reason. I'm a male. I earn about 20 rands per hour. When I calculate, this is what I get.